Hey guys, okay, here we are with chapter 21. Now, let's see if we can pose this guy finally. There's still some stuff to do, I want to do to it, but um, I think we're ready to put him into a more, not an action pose, but a more interesting pose. Just a few little things I want to do. Um, Let me show you the eyeballs that we just made in the last chapter. Um, Hang on, that's not them. There they are. So, what I did was, hang on one second. What I did was, if I turn off the color, you can see I punched a hole, half a semicircle for the iris, and then another one, a smaller one, for the pupil. And that's going to look much better in 3D, in a 3D print, in a resin print, because it's going to catch the light and look like, an actual eyeball. So what I also did was I took a little tiny sphere and I placed it right there at the corner of the pupil. Both these should probably be on the same side, and that will represent the light, like a reflection. So that's what it's going to look like painted. And by the way, I drew these little veins on there and these little veins in here with a standard brush. The ones inside the iris were with this alpha right here, alpha 60, comes with ZBrush. And these veins you can make really cool with, where is it? It comes with ZBrush. It is alpha, there, alpha 22. And they're not dimensional, they're just color, they're just paint. So anyway, let's get busy. I just wanted to show you that really quick before we get into the posing stuff. All right, so my eyes now have 4 subdivisions. The little highlight has 4 subdivisions, so we can merge those down. And I want to put the eyes back in the head. So let's put those back inside the head. The head has 4 subdivisions, right? And the eyes have 4 subdivisions. So we can merge those down safely. Let's see. And I guess I want to merge the head with the helmet, because that's not going to be moving around. I've broken it down into components that I'm going to pose. So if the head is wearing a helmet and the head turns, the helmet's going to turn, right? So it's pretty safe to merge those down. I really like him bald like that. Head, helmet. Just want to make sure that okay, that looks good enough. So let's merge the head down onto the helmet. Now you can see I have 9 million on the head all alone. So that's going to really, when it merges with the helmet, that's going to be a really, really heavy piece to move. But that's why I have 4 subdivisions, because I can drop that down to 1 instead of 4. And it's going to be very easy. See, I have 16 million points on this part alone, which is going to be crazy to move. But if I drop it down to the lowest subdivision, it's only 250,000. So it'll be very easy to, tilt it if I want to tilt it or turn it. So let's see, let's turn everything on. Belt, loincloth. The boots are going to have to merge with the legs. Let's see. The body and the braids, let's leave those separate for now. All right, let's just start with this right arm with the mallet. Now that weighs quite a bit. So how about we drop one shoulder? How about we just drop that down a little bit? As if the mallet has some weight. Now, don't worry, I'm gonna tilt the torso to line up with that. Now, the right arm, let's raise that shoulder and just give a very, very subtle hint of contrapposto, meaning the shift of the weight of the shoulders to the hips, in relation to the hips. I'm going to pull this arm out a little bit. See how it's staggering? If I go down a subdivision or two, it'll move much more easily. Okay. Now I want this arm forward a little bit. And this arm backward a little bit. I should just put everything on low, all my subdivisions on low while I do this. See, I like to do this by hand very slowly and carefully. It does have a plugin, ZBrush does have a plugin called Transpose Master right here, and that will drop everything down for you and allow you to pose it, and it does it all at once. I've done it once or twice, but I kind of like doing it this way, one part at a time by myself. All right, let's see. Let's go back to this arm. What I've got in mind is I want him walking, like taking a step forward. So let me just see. Let's do something with his hand. I don't like the position of that hand. Whoa. Let's mask everything off. Bring the hand back. And rotate the hand. Um, let's see. You can't really get a sense of the shoulders tilting. So let's take the torso and try tilting the torso. Just a little bit. Symmetry off. Okay, now that's affecting the belt and everything else. But you see how the spine is kind of tilting now? Which is kind of cool. I like that. Alright, now his shoulders look like they're tilting a little bit better. Now his neck just got thrown off. See, it's a process. So that means I'm going to have to slide his head over. Maybe rotate his head down a little bit, maybe. Might have to pull the beard out. Okay, now what's going to sell this is the legs. I want him stepping forward. So let's take the, if this arm is forward and this arm is back, I want the opposite on the legs. So I want these to come, this one to come forward. Now, let's drop this down. I'm not worried about the boots right now. I'll put the boots back on in a minute. The loincloth, I probably should have turned the loincloth with the legs, but easy enough to do. I'm going to leave the belt for now. I'm going to drop the legs all the way down to the lowest subdivision. And let me isolate or mask this leg. I'm going to get my freehand stroke and just paint this mask freehand. Just to get it exactly where I want it. Okay. Tapping on it just to soften it. All right, now I want to rotate this leg forward. I'm just going to do a very subtle step. Like he's just about to start walking toward somebody with that big giant mace of his. Okay, rotate this back down. this leg, and rotate it backward. I don't know if this is going to work. I should really have the rest of the figure on so I could see what I'm doing, but it's kind of what I want, but no, yeah, that's going to work. I just don't want his stance so spread out like that. He's off balance. So let's see. Hang on, let me just save as Giant 86 posed. Okay. And by working on the lowest subdivision while I'm doing this, you're not doing as much damage because it's low resolution. But I'm still gonna have to go in and repair some stuff later, but it won't be too bad. Repair meaning smooth stuff out. Alright, what I wanted to do was to put his center of balance back underneath him, his weight back underneath him. Hang on. Just mask this off. I should have separated the legs, but in the interest of time, I thought I can get away with leaving the legs together with the crotch, but it's okay. I think it's going to work. So let's pull this, rotate this in a little bit. Clear the mask. Let's see if I can. Now is where I should have had the boots on, because now I'm breaking the ankle a little bit. So that's going to be a little bit of work. I can get away with a little bit because he's walking in snow. So I don't have to have his feet flat, perfectly flat. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. That's what I want, except lurching forward a little bit more. So now I got to go back in and find his boots and put them in the right place. And then I think I want his whole body just to rotate forward a little bit. So I'm going to do that, and I will see you in the next chapter, which is chapter 22. And probably that will be the last chapter. So thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you in the next one.